has ni nani wewe tu.
Hello my darlings, welcome again to my channel. I'm Jerry Kimani, as you know, and today I'm super excited because it's our last episode, our 8th episode, and I'm super grateful, and we should clap for ourselves because hey, we have done it. So we started the Art of Mastering Our Personal Branding series. We started with episode 1, and now we are winding it up. We are ending it. It's our last day, and I want to say thank you so much for your support, and also, for being there, being consistent, and wanting to learn and elevate and, build a brand that is going to be felt through purpose, presence, and legacy. So this episode, being the last episode, it's going to transform how your brand will locate, from it's just a brand from moment into a movement, if that makes sense. And that is where presence, impact, and purpose will merge to build a legacy. And let's go deeper. So episode 8, longevity and legacy branding, building a brand that outlives you. So a strong brand gets attention, yes, but a powerful brand has to build trust. But also a legacy brand changes lives. It transforms other people's lives, and it's also going to outlive its creator. So the real measure of your brand isn't just how many people know your name today, but how many lives are going to be transformed by what your name stands for tomorrow. So we're not focused on present moment, we're thinking about tomorrow. And let me say, in this end of our 8th series, we're going to look into how we can create a brand with longevity and also legacy, one that doesn't fade with trends, and also one that's going to stand as a testimony of purpose, of impact, and authenticity. And darlings, let's go on first of all to look on what is a legacy brand. A legacy brand is not built in algorithms or even aesthetics. It's built on values, services, and transformation, and whatever positive input you can think of when it comes to branding. So while most people are going to be chasing virality, legacy builders always focus on value. And that's why I keep on telling people, I keep on saying, I'm repeating myself, that you need to start offering value to people. As much as you want people to come and support you, to come and, be your cheerleader, they have to, whenever they come into your space, they have to leave with something. And what is that something? It's the value. So because value sustains when visibility fades. So let me talk the difference between longevity and legacy. So let's look at the concept of longevity. So its main focus is sustainability. And the key question here we need to ask ourselves is, how can I keep my brand more relevant, adaptable, and consistent over time? Because consistency is the main thing here. You can have a brand with beautiful aesthetics, and but when you're not consistent, you're not going to be sustainable whatsoever. So let me tell you, if that makes sense, it's not going to be sustainable. So inconsistency will never be sustainable, if that makes sense, right? So let's look at the concept of legacy. So legacy here, the main focus is impact. So what lasting transformation will my brand leave behind? This is a key question that you always have to ask yourself. So longevity keeps your brand alive, and legacy will have to keep your brand remembered. You will be remembered even when you'll not be anywhere to be around. But when somebody mention about your brand, there's something they remember about you. So let me talk about the 3 pillars, darling, of a legacy brand. So the very number one thing is the purpose. And this is your why beyond the platform. Purpose is going to be your brand soul. Without purpose, popularity just becomes noise. You need to ask yourself, so if I lost like every follower today, what impact would still remain? Would you leave an impact? Or what imprints are they going to be there, will be found there? So the purpose-centered brands, darlings, they have to build from calling, not clouting. Serve transformation, not just attention, and also lead with conviction, not competition. Competition is the thief of joy, and also competition is going to throw you off because you start thinking about what other people are doing instead of concentrating on what value you should be giving into your brand should be contributing. So purpose is going to make your brand eternal because truth never expires whatsoever. So the second pillar of it's people, and people here are the heartbeat of legacy. So a legacy brand doesn't focus on followers, it builds a community of believers. Your community become your credibility. So listen to your audience. What are they struggling with? Create transformation, not just content. And that's why I say sometimes it's even good to create just one content that is going to transform, rather than having to throw contents every single day, but it's not helping anybody. So also celebrate the stories of those you impact. Legacy is not measured in numbers, it's measured in names. The true proof of your brand is it's not how loud your voice is, but how many lives echo it. The third one, which is the final one, it's the principles. And what is it about the principles? So it's the code that the principles will be the code that governs your brand. Trends are going to change, but principles don't. Legacy brands, have to operate to timeless values. So there is excellence, service, growth, consistency, integrity, you name it all, and even faith. So when you build on principle, you don't chase relevance. Relevance will find you all the time. So, and I'll repeat, when you build on principles, you don't chase relevance. Relevance will have to find you. So what values, you need to ask yourself, what values will my brand never compromise? Because sometimes we build these huge brand and then something happens and you get an opportunity, but it compromises your values. Are you able to say no to things that do not, align with your brand, and they're going to compromise, your values? So you have to ask yourself that. So let me talk about the 4 stages of a legacy brand. We got 5 stages. One is the identity stage, we got the influence stage, we got the impact stage, and the final one is the immortality stage. And what is it about identity stage? So identity stage, it's about building your foundation. So these will have to include self-image, a story, and a clarity. The focus will be, who am I? The influence stage, which is the second stage, it's about growing visibility and authority. So the thing to focus on is, how do I serve? And the third stage is the impact. So it's about expanding community and also opening up and saying yes to collaborations. So the main focus will be, who do I reach, or how do I reach people? So, and because you want to expand community, so it's who and how, do I reach. So the fourth one is going to be the immortality stage. So your message lives beyond you. What will they remember? It's the main focus. So remember that every brand begins as a message but becomes a legacy when it transforms lives. So darlings, let me talk about the longevity strategies. So how to build a brand that's going to last. So we have 6 strategies we're going to talk about. So it's consistency over virality. So do not, and I know we're all so frustrated. People sometimes, they get so frustrated with algorithms. So don't chase the algorithm. Train your audience to expect your value. Frequency builds familiarity. So, and familiarity breeds trust. So don't really pay attention to algorithm, because algorithm keep on changing every now and then. But your audience, if they had to trust you, they'll always be there for you. They'll always be expecting more value from you, and they're gonna, that's how you're going to expand. So the second strategy is diversify your platforms. You need to expand wisely, and this is where you have to show your visibility. Their visibility has to be there in platforms. So you can do YouTube, obviously, that's where we are. You can do a podcast. You can also do community email list. So let it be known that social media is a rented space, but you have to build your own digital home. So this is a space that we build our own digital home. It's a rented space, but it's up to you. Are you going to build a brand that, a digital home that's going to be valuable, or it's just going to be all over the place and, feeling frustrated? And when someone comes and come across your brand, what's the kind of a vibe they get? What lessons do they get there? Do they get inspired and stuff like that? So those are the things also you have to think about when you're trying to diversify on platforms. The third strategy is teach what you know. Legacy live through mentorship and knowledge sharing. Some people are so scared to share what they know. Probably they think they're not confident enough. But let me say that confidence is built through showing up every day and doing something. So when you show up today, you can become more confident and you believe in yourself. So tomorrow you might even do more better than even today. So that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, share what you know out there because you don't feel confident. I don't think there's anybody has ever felt confident 100%. There's always that question at the back of your mind. Is it gonna make sense? Well, maybe sometimes even myself, I can come and here and create a content and feel like I didn't give my 100%. But what do? Next day I have to show up, and try to top up for the percentage that I feel like I didn't really show up on the last episode, or even the last content or a video. So it's all about, when you build consistency in yourself, confidence is just going to be automated in you. So we're talking about teaching what you know. So you can create ebooks, you can do courses, you can do live events. So what you teach is going to become timeless. So it's up to you. I'm also calling myself out here because I'm also trying to work on our courses. And because we need to share what we know with other people. You can't sit on your talents and your gifts and your creativity, because it's not going to help anybody. It can't just help you yourself alone. You also feel empowered when you're able to transfer that knowledge to other people and someone else, get to learn from you. So the fourth strategy, it's document your journey. You can also sometimes show behind the scene content. You can do journals. If you're not good in showing behind the scene, you can do journaling, you can do reflections. I am a big advocate of journaling. And when you talk about journaling, obviously reflections has to be, it comes in that package. So also you can do case studies. People connect to growth stories, not perfection. And perfection, waiting to be perfect, you'll never be perfect. No one is perfect. Just show up the best you know how, and the rest will just follow. So the other thing, the fifth one, it's build systems, not stress. So many people are so stressed about when it comes to building their brand, even when it comes to content creation. But what you need to understand is that when stress comes, you need to pause, you need to rest, you need to give yourself time, and then come back and start building system, not stress. So what do I mean by that? You need to automate, you need to delegate and structure so your brand runs with or without you. So legacy requires sustainability, not burnout. When you feel like you're being burnt out, you have to step aside a little bit, and then you delegate, you come back, you automate and delegate and structure, and then ta-la, things are going to move well. So yeah, I think those are the things that and the other strategy is consistency. It has to be there. For a brand to last, consistency has always been in that space. It has always been seen and felt. And remember, like I've always been repeating, that consistency is the new currency. Don't wanting, okay, fine, it's okay. When you go viral, you feel happy. We'll all want to go viral. But is it going to be sustained? Are you going to be able to sustain it? So why don't you be consistent in the things that you know that are going to add you value, and also they're going to pay you off later on? You never know. You never know, darling. So being consistent, maybe that's where your blessing or even your next level might emerge from. So it's good to be consistent. So let's look at it at the spiritual dimension. Yeah. Wait. So legacy isn't just success. So it's a stewardship. It's how you use your voice. It's how you use your gifts, your influence, and your talents and your creativity, so that you can serve purpose beyond yourself. And let me say that God doesn't give you a platform for applause. He gives it for assignment. So whatever you're carrying with you and you feel like you want to talk about, to take it to the world, that's assignment you're carrying with you. So when your brand becomes a vessel for something bigger than you, it kind of like shift from self-promotion to kingdom impact. And that is how you build impact worldly. So you need to look at it at that angle. Legacy isn't just, so why are you building legacy? It's not just for success. Yes, success is going to be part of the journey, but there is more to that, which is stewardship. So let me say that you need to do practical work tools. You need to have practical tools that you need to exercise on. And the number one that I want you to do is you need to write a legacy letter. So write a letter from your future self 10 years ahead. So the three key things to look here, it's what impact did your brand create? Because I want you to see it, because you will never build something that you've not seen in the mind. So you have to see it first, and then so that you can give birth to it. So you have to write a letter from your future self 10 years ahead. So what impact did your brand create? What lives did it transform? And what do people say your name stands for? The other exercise you can do, it's brand legacy statement. Craft your brand's mission in one sentence. So my brand exists to, you write the action, so that, and then you write the transformation. What its transformation. So for example, I can say that my brand exists to awaken confidence and faith in women, so that they can lead boldly, authentically, and live in their within in line with their purpose. Being in line with their purpose, if that makes sense. So the other thing, it's a legacy vision board. You need to visualize all the time what legacy looks like to you. So you need to look into maybe movements, programs. That could be your legacy. Impact stories, families, writing books. What does it look for you? You need to create images that represents the future of your brand. So that's why I say it. When you are doing a legacy letter, you need to have an idea. You need to have a vision of what exactly your brand looks like and what it has achieved and all that. It's very important. So let me say that legacy is when your impact keeps speaking long after you've stopped talking. So even when you go, people will still talk about your brand. So that's what legacy is all about. So a legacy brand is not also built overnight. We all want to do things overnight. I'm sorry, that doesn't happen. It has to be built over time and through consistency and alignment. So it's not an overnight thing. So if you're here and you're thinking, oh, I want to learn from Jerry about, mastering the art of personal branding so that, within 3 months I'll be famous or I'll have built a brand, like, it doesn't work like that. Maybe it might happen if, luck is on your side, but for you to build something that's going to transform lives for a very long time, it has to also to take time, and we also learn through mistakes and all that. So we have to have patience as we're doing that. So your brand should not just make noise online, it should make meanings, or it should have meanings in people's lives. The goal is not fame, it's say fruitfulness. So it is not fame, it's fruitfulness. So your legacy isn't just built by how many people you know, it's built on how many people grow because of you. So your brand is your message in motion, and your legacy is that message multiplied in others. So build something that doesn't just trend, that doesn't go viral and then we forget about it. Build something that's going to transform, that's going to touch people, that's going to help people be the best version of themselves, want to wake up and do something for themselves. And let me say, this may be the end of the series, but also it's the beginning of your next chapter, where your story becomes your strategy and your strategy becomes your legacy. And my darlings, the call to action now will be: write your legacy letter, create your brand legacy statement, and also comment down, in one word, what do you want your brand legacy to be remembered for. And I hope that you've enjoyed these episodes, 8 episodes. And it's my hope and prayer that you're going to build something that will outlive you. And until then, so I'm wishing you that you guys will have the courage to always show up, be consistent, and don't give up. And patience is very much needed. And don't forget to share. And also, if you're watching me for the very first time, don't forget to subscribe and also push the notification button, so when I'll be coming up with new episodes, you'll be the very first person to be notified. And until next time, so take care of yourself and go and start building the brand of your dreams. So until then, bye.
Ni nani wewe tu